So you guys wonder, once you got to this part, right? You're like, I gotta deal with numbers. I gotta deal with arrows. I'm being paranoid, Lennox. Let me tell you, I got you. Alright? Let's get to the part. Alright, so you guys got up to this part, right? You know, there's a lot explaining to do, but I got you, right? So, after the AoE, is gonna be Shockwave. Shockwave is basically he jumps on the platform, creating a knockback. Alright? You could arms like short cast it, so you guys don't go into the water. During this time, everybody is going to get a different color number. Alright? If you're the purple color number, you want to go to the 1, 2, 3, 4 markers based on what on top of your head. Alright? If you're number 2, you will most likely go to the 2 marker. 1 go to 1, 3 go to 3, 4 go to 4 as a purple number. Simple, right? Without touching the water that you see on my right. If you touch that, that's an instant kill. Let me tell you, that is instant kill. And if you die, somebody else is going to die with you. Because you have a number and that head is going to go to someone else. Or you probably will kill 2 other people because the head is probably going to go to the blue number. Alright. After this other part, the blue numbers are going to basically, what they're going to do is that 1 and 3 go away from the boss diagonally. And 2 and 4 are going to be underneath the boss. So basically, this is how it looks. And make sure you want to be behind the grates. If you're not behind the grates, the head will clip you and kill you. You see how big that AoE is? If you're not behind the grates, you die. Instantly. No question asked. You are not behind the grates. Like this, you're dead. Period. Alright? Once 1 get hit, 1 and 3 swap. Once 2 get hit, 2 and 4 swap. If you don't swap, somebody is going to die. D-I-E. You know what that means? That means we have to wipe. Alright? Other than that, or chances are we might have to wipe. After that, it's going to be Tank Buster. You can choose an invulnerate, whatever. It's a sheer Tank Buster. Right? AoE, and then this is where everything is going to get much more paranoid. Paranoid! This is skateboards too. Now, I'm going to slow this part down because it's really fast. Alright? Look at your debuff timer. Alright? Don't look at your arrow. Look at your debuff timer. The first thing you do is look at your debuff timer and see what you got. If you got a short timer debuff like me, you want to make sure you resolve your arrow first. Without touching the doodle water that you see on my right. You see that doodle water? Touch that, die instantly. No questions asked. You touched it. You got cooties. Alright? You get hit like that, and most likely you slide into each other to make sure you don't go in the wall. And once that happens, once you resolve your debuff as a short timer debuff skateboard, you want to make sure that you get away from the people that has to resolve theirs, because you're gonna have an AoE like this. It basically is a watered down debuff, and you want to make sure that you're away from the people that needs to resolve their skateboards. If you're a long timer debuff, and by the way, don't look at what I'm wearing. Okay, listen, I couldn't find no good glam. Okay, I was just poor. Alright, I was broke, as you can see on my bottom right. But don't look at that. Look at my debuff. My debuff is long. Alright? My debuff is long. Like literally 30 seconds long or something like that. And basically I resolve my AoE first without touching the people that has to resolve their skateboard first. Alright? Once the AoE goes off and the skateboard goes off, that's when you're going to resolve your skateboard. But other than that, there's nothing more to it. You just gotta practice it. Just don't be paranoid by the arrow. You look at the arrow once somebody else's skateboard goes off, right? Just look at your debuff and see what number you have, either 30 seconds or 20 seconds, or 15 seconds. I don't really know the timer. I'm not gonna really go back and look. As long as it's long or short, whatever, just make sure you just pay attention to your debuff number. But after that, the set mechanics are following. So, after he does Spoken a Wing, he's gonna cast Planetary Advice, right? He's gonna mark 1 tank, 1 healer, 1 DPS. To be honest, I'm just gonna say tank and DPS because the healers are always gonna be stacking together, but not just by themselves. You're gonna have other people stack with them. All right. The affected tank and effective DPS want to be away from the party, but the set mechanics following, though. He does dislocation. Dislocation is basically his head gonna pop off and gonna go to north or south, left or right, right? And you just want to look for the head. You don't want to be in front of it. And he does spoken contract or wing contract. Again, spoken is real, wing is fake. At this time, the affected tank and DPS want to be away from the party so you don't kill everybody with that AoE. That AoE is a super knockback, which is not avoidable, and chances are most likely you're gonna kill the party because they're all gonna go on the wall and die. So make sure that when you guys go next to the head and the other one go next to the corner, talk to your teammates to see where you guys are going. Alright, other than that, he does a dislocation again, and then he does sewage eruption. Now this time you want to be in front of the head for a little bit, right, to drop your AoE, and then don't be in front of the head after that. And get out the way and keep moving, otherwise you're gonna end up like that red mage right there and you die for free. Alright, after that, spread so you guys don't put AoE on top of each other, right? And one tank is gonna grab the tether and get away from the party. The other tank is gonna be next to the party, pop cooldowns, be in front of the tank, be in front of the group, right? Not tank. Be in front of the group. So you take the laser. It's a stack laser, by the way. It's a tank bus stack laser, right? And yeah, but make sure you talk to your team to see where you guys are going, because we did have a issue here. So if you want tank that has a flare could go to A, and a stack tank could go to C, and make sure shield healer you mitigate everything, because let me tell you, your teammate's not gonna mitigate everything for you. Alright, after that he does a tank buster, double AoE, back to this, you know, bad water, stuff like that, bad drainage over there I just stepped on, nasty. Alright, now let me super slow this part down. Channeling overflow number 3. Skateboards number 3, by the way. Now I super slow this thing down, and I already know it's really crunchy, but I'm gonna tell you right now, everything goes off at the same time. The following is advised. Everybody will have a long and short timer debuff. Of course, there's no AoEs here, but the short timer debuff will resolve the arrows first, right? During this time, tanks need to pay attention to their debuff closely, because this is what is going to happen. The boss will cast core inherence, right? The long debuff tank grabs the tether. Don't let the short debuff tank grab the tether. The long debuff tank grabs the tether, while the other tank with a short time debuff resolve his arrow. As you can see, I see a warrior pop sprint trying to grab the tether. Right? You see him right there trying to grab that tether? Yeah, that's him. He's running really fast because he got a long timer debuff. He needs to grab a tether and be away from the party while the other tank resolve his arrow, being next to the party, right? Because coherence is basically a flare attack on one tank, and tank busts a share laser on the other tank with the party. Alright? At this time, the arrow will go off, right? Causing damage of, like, basically big giant damage, alright? It's really big. At this time, the long timer healer, prepare for damage. The short timer healer, pop, instant cast, heals. This is where everything will hurt. Everything here is going to hurt a lot. I literally sat here and spam healing buffs because everything here hurts. We mitigate before the skateboards, and we're going to mitigate again, because the flare goes off and does a lot of damage. The laser will go off, dealing a lot more damage. So we don't want nobody dying here. So the long debuff healer spam heals. The other healer that has to resolve the arrow, make sure you pop instant cast abilities, because this is a lot of damage. I actually really spam and swift cast Pneuma, which is healing and damage right away. You know, I learn my healers. I love my healers equally. Once that resolves, the long timer debuff, people, go resolve your arrows after the tank buster stack. All right. Go ahead, resolve your arrow. I know that was super long, but listen, everything goes off at the same time. And if you don't properly mitigate or heal, somebody's gonna die. Maybe 3 or 4 people, because it's a lot of damage. All right, it's important to mitigate. Really important. After that, he's gonna do dislocation. Dislocation is obviously his head gonna go north or south or whatever he goes, right? But it's another dislocation in sewage eruption. So basically it's the same thing. It's just that we gotta make space, you know, start with the front of the head, rotate, it pauses 3 times, it will eventually stop, right? That's basically it. And there's nothing else to it, you know. He does that. This is the light parties, and then this is another shockwave. So obviously there's another light parties and shockwave. They're really not that big. Make sure you pop Onslaughting and Surecast and not be like that monk, please. Because literally, I don't know why he didn't pop Surecast or Onslaught. I mean, he has Onslaught. Onslaught is for, you know, physicals and tanks. There's obviously a tank buster there, but you know the word decided to invuln it, and obviously we blaze this boss down pretty fast. But if you did blaze down the boss super fast and you have been dying, he gonna cast a lot of AoEs, aka stress out the healers. So make sure that you pop a lot of cooldowns, guys, because this thing actually really hurt. As you can see, I pop a lot of healing, and that thing hurt bad. But obviously the enrage is you know, the big giant AoE that you've been seeing. But make sure you don't die a lot, otherwise you're gonna end up like these 3 people, right? You don't want to end up like those 3, because they have been dying on that run. I'm telling you right now, they have been dying on that run. So that's what happened to those 3 people. They kept dying, and that's what they get. And obviously he dies, you know, the hippopotamus dies, yay, finally these 2 show up, you know, super late, and they be like, okay, now we're just gonna, you know, fill this guy with ether, and stuff like that, and then we're just gonna put a summoning thing around him, and I'm gonna see you guys later, bye!